When driving down a steep downgrade, you should never shift to neutral. If you shift to neutral, all of the energy, the car, the weight, the motor is going to be free flowing. When you keep your motor and transmission connected, it's somewhat under control, and then you can downshift into a lower gear. Rumble strips that are placed on the side of roadways are to alert drivers they are driving off the road into a portion of the roadway. If you hear those rumble strips, da 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 da, if you hear that, you're falling asleep at the wheel. You're getting ready to crash. So you as a driver, you got to be really aware of this and be aware of your surroundings. On a rural road, utility lines, mailboxes, reflectors give clues of the location of driveways. So you as the driver, if you're on a rural road, dirt road, it's a soft shoulder, you could fall off the road. It's hard to see. It's dirt, and it means you're going to crash because a lot of beginners drive too fast, they're not paying attention, and then you're going to end up crashing. Motorcycles are hard, they're difficult to see. They zip in between cars. If you don't check your blind spot when you change lanes, you're going to run them off the road. Motorcyclists do have blind spots too. You see them looking right, you see them looking left. If the acceleration lane is short, you will need to have a longer gap to enter. A gap is the space. You need space to merge on. You need space to make a right turn. You need space to make a left turn. Beginning drivers don't keep space. You have a difficult time judging space, and that could mean you could almost get hit. That means you could almost hit a pedestrian, hit a bicyclist, and then your parents would say, you know what, Shaniqua, you're not ready to drive yet. And then you're going to be 21 with 5 hours of driving. So your goal is to show your parents, hey, I can drive. I'm a beginner. Mom and Dad, I didn't mean to scare you. Please give me another chance. But it's going to be a lot of pressure. It's going to be different than when you're driving with your instructor. I'm used to it, but I don't want to get used to it. And if I see you pulling out in front of traffic, then I'm going to hit the brake on you so you don't kill yourself. If I see you getting ready to make a left turn and we're about to get hit, I'm going to hit the brake. Your parents won't have a brake. Then you're going to give them a heart attack and they're not going to trust you. So you really got to show them that. A construction zone is indicated by an orange sign. There is a color numbering and sign system across the United States. Kentucky can make custom signs. The Kentucky Derby, they might have horses, right? There's a desert in Nevada. You might have a picture of a desert. California has landslides. You might have pictures of rocks and a sign, drivers beware. So every municipality can make custom signs. I've been up to Montreal. Signs are in French. I don't speak that much French, but I drove up there. So you, as a driver, there's a lot to learn. It can be very overwhelming. You may turn right from the other lane than the far right lane. When there is a sign or a marking permitting the turn, a lot of beginners turn into the wrong lane. You want to keep your turn as short as possible. If you go into the left lane, you're going to hit a car. If you go into the wrong lane, you're going to sideswipe and go over the curb. Here again, imagine when you're with mom and dad, mom's in the front, dad's in the back, you make a wide turn, your mother's like, ah, and your dad's like, you're funny. And then your mom and dad are fighting. And you're like, hey, I'm the one that needs to drive. So you're going to have that emotional situation when you drive with your parents. I'm not your parent. I'm like your uncle. I'm like your guardian for 5 or 6 more hours. Then I'm going to talk to mom and dad. Okay, bye. They're yours. Be safe. And they're like, bruh. So I try to tell them so they're prepared. And if you're the second or third child, if you're the second or third child through, they're like, get in the car and drive. If you're the first kid, they're going to have training wheels on. Oh, you can't drive after 6:30. It's dark. Oh, you can't drive. You're having a bad day. Oh, you can't drive. You got a C on a test. You're upset. Mom, dad, stop. You need to be driving. And if you don't, you're going to be 23, 24, 27 at home. And a car's in the garage waiting for you. And you're scared to drive. That happens. It's about driver's education. We're going over test questions. Put your questions in. Which of the following distractions is most likely to cause a young driver to crash? It's other passengers. One passenger is 33%. Another passenger is 66%. Every passenger you have, there's a mathematical equation that will cause you to get distracted. You will crash. So you need to tell your friend, stop. I'm driving. I don't have time to look at the dog driving. I don't have time to look at the funny thing. You got to focus because your job as a driver is to get everyone there safely. That's how personal you have to take the job. Some of you are mature enough. Some people are not. Some people, I don't want that pressure on me, bro. If you're in the car and you die, that's your fault. The driver has total responsibility. If you're carrying something, drugs, a knife, a gun, and you get pulled over, the driver assumes the responsibility. No, I don't want that responsibility. Sorry, it's time to grow up. So it's really important that you do that. If your vehicle starts to lose traction on the roadway, you should slow down gradually and not apply the brakes. You will spin out of control. You'll roll your car over. You'll hit the wall. You'll go into the ditch. And it's really dangerous. You have to experience this for your first time driving or your second time. Or if you go too fast and you're hard-headed and it's raining, you're going to spin out. Some of you will do that because you love to drive fast. Males drive faster than females. It's statistically true. Your insurance rates are higher for males than females. Males have more accidents. It's true. Because you love driving fast. You show off in front of your friends. Females are like, I don't care. Isn't that your boyfriend? He's not my boyfriend. That's your boyfriend who's showing off and getting ready to crash his mom's Cadillac. Because you saw off in front of your friends. It's called peer pressure. In order to avoid conflicts, when traffic is heavy in the right lane, you should use the center lane. Always try to drive in the center lane. A lot of roadways have 3 lanes. Highways have 3 lanes, 4 lanes, 5 lanes. The lane to the right, slower moving traffic. Trucks merging on, cars merging on. Why would you be there? But you're scared to get in the middle lane because you got to go faster. Don't get to the left lane. That's the fast lane. People are doing 75, 85, 95. You have no business being there. I say it again. You think you can drive. You have no business being in the left lane. If you go 75 and that's too slow, people are going to flash your lights and tailgate you. You will learn for yourself. I won't be there. You'll text me, oh, you're right. My mom doesn't want to drive with me because you pulled out in front of a truck and she screamed at you. And she's like, I'm done. That's your daughter. You drive her. I've had parents go through fights. It's not good. I'm trying to give you advice, and some of you will listen, and some of you won't. On rural roadways, conditions can change abruptly. Soft shoulders, you can sink in the mud. When I first started teaching, drivers said we went on a dirt road. I'm from the city. It was raining for about a week. The mud was very soft. Guess what? A semi truck came by. My student got all the way over to the right by the shoulder. The car sank down in the mud to the door. I said, bruh, I have my dress shoes on, shirt and tie, looking crispy. I said, you pushing it out? Oh, we'll push it out. The car sank in the mud. You have no business being on a dirt road in bad weather because you're going to roll your car into the ditch. You're going to sink in the mud. You're going to get stuck. What should you do at an intersection with a flashing yellow light? You want to slow down and proceed with caution. A lot of beginners will stop in the middle of the street. You got to look. We talked about the traffic scene. A lot of beginning drivers, listen to me, you only drive traffic light to traffic light. You don't see to the left. You don't see to the right. You don't see the kid riding the bike across the street. You don't see grandma making a slow left turn. You don't see Hunter trying to cut through traffic on his motorcycle. You don't see Alvin running his PR and he's getting ready to go to the States. We don't see Savannah walking her dog down the street. So in your traffic scene, you've got to see everything. And a lot of you won't do that for about a year or year and a half. It really takes time. And you learn this through your experience. If you're scared, if your parents are scared to take you out, you won't learn it. At a roundabout, you will see a yield sign. You want to yield to traffic already in. You want to look left. You want to look right. Yield to traffic. When there's a gap, you go in. If you're going to the right, turn on your blinker. If you're going straight, go straight through. Signal your intention. Let people know what you're doing. On your road test, you will have roundabouts. You have to take your time. The Vehicle Safety Technology, called ESP, stands for Electronic Stability Program. You're on an icy road. Your rear tires are spinning. The computer will pull power out from the rear tires so they don't spin as much. Your front tires are skidding. The computer will squeeze the brakes to slow you down. We need computers to help us become better drivers. Even a 2005 and 2010 has some of those technologies. Most of you are driving 2016, 18, 20s, 22s, some 2012s. You need to be in the newest car. I'm not letting them drive my new lease, my 20. I'll talk to your mom and dad for you. You need to. Dads are more willing than moms. They're not driving my new car. You let them drive. Okay, fine. That's why your daughter doesn't like you. I hear conversations like that all the time. I'm just being real with you. But some of you don't want me to be real and honest. According to the law, and this is across the United States, according to the law, operating while intoxicated means a blood alcohol of 0.08. That's pretty much across the United States. They're actually trying to lower that. About one drink, it depends on your weight, your sex, what's in the drink. Is it a beer? Is it alcohol? Is it wine? Is it a mixed drink? A broken white line separates lanes of traffic moving in the same direction. As a driver, you see broken white lines. I can change lanes. I got a mirror, turn signal, blind spot. You have the warning line to the left, the yellow line. You have the white line to the right. You got to know where you are. A traffic control officer signals is the only one to follow regardless. A police officer is a traffic control person. A construction worker, a school bus crossing guard. They'll stick a stop sign in your face and tell you to stop. All of you go to school or community college. You've got to be careful. 2 to 5 is the most dangerous. You want to continue to study yielding and right of way at intersections. That's very confusing for beginning drivers. Do I yield? Do I go? Do I stop? And your parents are like, she's not ready. Dad, can you talk to this woman? Can you tell your wife I am ready to drive? I'll talk to her tonight. One parent's going to say no. One parent's going to say yes. You won't drive, or it's going to be a struggle. It's going to happen to some of you. I'm telling you right now. How can you keep the inside of your vehicle windows clear after you have cleaned them off with humidity or rain. You want to use the defroster or air conditioning. The defroster blows warm air. Your motor is running. There is water and antifreeze cooling off the motor. There's a water pump that pumps water through the heater core, which is an aluminum fin, and then the fan blows past the aluminum fin, and that's how you get warm air inside the car. Then you have an air conditioner, you have a compressor, you have a belt. It compresses the freon, and then you get cold air in your car. What does searching for hazards in traffic depend mostly of? Moving the eyes. A lot of beginners just look straight ahead. You don't see the car running the light. You don't see the kid with no shirt on running. You don't see the man cutting his grass in his mower. You don't see the mother and father jogging. You got to see the big picture, and I try to teach all of you this. I try to show you all this. When approaching an expressway entrance ramp on your right, you can make it easier for vehicles entering the expressway by moving over one lane to the left. A lot of beginners just freeze. What do I do? Tell me. Because you don't know what to do. Your parents have to tell you what to do. You won't be with me anymore. I'm an instructor. I know what to do. I've been in these situations a million times, but they are always different. Remember, my goal is safety. When turning, look where you want to go. I'm just reading some information off my list. When turning, look where you want to go. Put some questions in. Put some questions in and some things that I just went over. All of you listening, put questions in on all of the things I went over. Show me you're listening. And if you like this, look at all my content. Show me you are listening. Put questions in, guys. If everyone puts one question in, I answer it, we're golden. This is an interactive class. So we're talking about the big five. This is the big five that all of you need to do. Concentrate, no phone, no text. Next, look while turning. If you're turning left, you need to look to the left. Some of you aren't doing that. If you're turning to the right, you look to the right. If you're backing up, you look out of your back window. That seems simple, but you don't do it because you're not used to being in a car. And I'm teaching people, adults and teens, who don't know how to drive. I had a young lady, Ashley, 21 years old. She passed her test a couple of weeks ago, 4 lessons. She was very nervous on her road test. She looked very scared. I'm like, Ashley, I'm okay. I'm like, you got this. She freaked out. It's like she forgot everything. And that's when it's real. You paid your money, stay certified tester. I'm in the back seat, we driving. Whoa. She parallel parked, merged on the expressway, made left turns, made right turns, went through a neighborhood. Look in your turns. When you change your lanes, you have to look. You got to check your blind spot. Some of you are still scared to look over your shoulder. If you make a lane change to the left, look over left shoulder. Make a lane change to the right, look over your right shoulder. Drive at a safe speed for the conditions. If it's heavy traffic, slow down. If it's raining outside, slow down, drive with your headlights on. If it's at night, slow down. Clean your windshield off. Clean your headlights off. I drive beginners at night. They're so scared. They're going off the road to the side, to the right. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. I'm saying to myself, you're trying to kill us, right? I'm sorry. Your parents won't. Remember, don't scare your parents. Do not scare the parents. No, I'm not driving your son. That's your stepson. You drive him. He scares me. I put through 3 kids already. Oh, fine. That's fine. Have lots of following distance. Stop early. Roll up. Some of you are still slamming brakes. We're going to rear end the car. Beginning drivers rear end cars. Motorists will hit us. Have lots of room. When you pull out of traffic, that's another dangerous thing. Oh, I'm sorry. You just put on front of a car, and I don't feel good. And I'm going to tell your mom and dad, don't say anything. Your parents want to know. Some of them don't want to know. But I'm going to tell them the truth because I got to be my authentic self. Don't scare the parents. New drivers do not judge distance and speed well. Oh, I can drive. Okay, let's drive to Texas. Let's drive to Cedar Point. Let's go to downtown Detroit for the draft. Oh, no, that's okay. It's going to be 300,000 people down there. No, that's okay. They need verbal instructions ahead of time. I need you to turn left at the next light. I need you to go into the roundabout and make a left turn. Okay. Do not assume they know what to do. That's what your parents would do. I'm going to give you some other information. I'm not going to say their names. I had my segment 2 class yesterday. Here's some questions. When should I prepare for the road test? As soon as possible. When should I prepare for the written test? Review. What are the most important things to do during your road test? Right of way. Checking blind spots. This is from Alexander. What should I do to be careful when driving an older car? Make sure the car is mechanically sound. Headlights work. Taillights work. How can I practice parallel parking? Practice in front of your house. Have trash cans out there. What to do if my parents get really stressed while driving? Drive with one of them. If mom is all screaming at you, drive with dad. Dad, can you please drive with me? You never want to do anything with me. Dad, can you please drive with me? You never want to do anything with me. Your dad's giving you that guilt trip. Or you always do stuff with your dad. Mom, I need you. Tell your parent. I'm just going to read one. This is from Amelia. How do I get good at practicing parking? Downtown areas, parking in your school parking lot, parking at the mall, parking in the downtown area when there are no cars there. How do I stay calm during heavy traffic? Try to get in the middle lane. Try to get smooth. Don't stay in the right lane. You're going to get cut off by semi-trucks, cars merging on. Don't get in the left lane. They're doing 70 and 80 and 90. You get a lot here. What do I do if I only have driven 2 hours at night? You got to drive more. These are former students. Ryan, how do I know if I have my side mirrors adjusted? You want to see a little bit of the sides of the car. You should look to the left, see the side. Look to the right, see the side. How do I get my hours when my parents have busy schedules? You won't. I have students that are 16. They have to have 30 hours to get into class. They need 50 to get to take their test. You need to find a cousin, an uncle, an auntie. I want to read your questions. How do I stay safe when young drivers are on the road while driving? Try to keep space. Don't tailgate other cars. How do I stay safe? Okay, is it ever okay to use the left lane on the expressway? Yes, Riri, when you want to push and go fast. It's always okay to use the left lane, but in your mind, you got to be up on your speed. If someone is coming 80, 90, get out the way, get to the right, let them go by. It's safe once you understand it. The ESP helps you whenever you have it on. Hunter, some cars do automatically have it on. Some cars you can deactivate the traction control. You'll spin out. Oh, yeah, that's what I want. No, you don't want that. You're going to crash. You're going to crash. Hunter's like, yeah. No, no. How do I know when to begin searching for an exit? You want to look at the road sign. It's usually a mile away, half a mile away. You want to get over to the right as soon as possible. What should I do if in the future I live near a dirt road? There's severe conditions. You're going to have to be careful. You want to drive on the top of dirt roads are crown shaped. If you ride to the side, you're going to fall off. You have to get stuck once or twice to understand a dirt road. Me as an instructor, dirt roads have always won. My first time teaching, dirt road won. So I don't really like to go on dirt roads. What should I do if we get, when should we be pulled out of the middle of the inner? Okay, when traffic is clear, you want to go up into the middle. You don't want to go too far under the light. You can't see the light. 3/4 of the way in, you're waiting for traffic to go by. This is traffic going from your right, from your left to your right. Once it's clear, you see a gap, you make the turn. I like the questions. When do I start turning my steering wheel? When I'm making a right. When the front end of the car is even with the curb. No, you're in the UK. You don't need another test. Actually, I'd like to talk to you about that. We will talk. Leave your information. Do you only see flashing yellow lights at fire stations? No, you see them at intersections after about 9:30 or 10:30 at night. The traffic light just starts blinking yellow on the side road. Okay? On the main road, it blinks yellow. On the side road, it blinks red. So that's like 11:30, 12 o'clock. You guys should sleep. You're not out that late. Adam, you don't want to be out that late. You're about to fall asleep and you're still driving. So at about 10:30, what should you do if you park your front wheels facing away from the curb? Chloe, if you're parking downhill, you want to turn your front wheels into the curb. If your car slips out of gear, the front of the car will wedge itself into the curb. Okay? If you're parking uphill, you want to turn your front wheels away. So if your car slips out of gear, the car will actually roll backwards and hit the curb. That's a good question. What should you do if your tires blow out in the middle of the road? Try to get over to the right as soon as possible. And turn on your four ways. The state police recommend you really shouldn't be going out trying to change your tire because it's really deadly. You can get hit. I recommend getting a towing service. AAA is good. They have a basic package like 20-mile tow. They'll change your tire for you, but you need to know how to change your tire, but it's dangerous and you could get killed. So if you can drive the car up the ramp off the expressway, do that. But you want to try to get over to the right as far as possible. Is moving your eyes quickly or slowly? It's moving them efficiently. You're looking left, you're looking right. If you move them fast, you won't see. You want to look for information. You got to look for our cars coming, our kids coming. I like the questions because I can tell you're more engaged. If someone is tailgating me in a lane to block, what should you do? You maintain speed. You can't go faster. You're going to lose your space in front of you. A tailgater will tailgate you and then eventually get over. Always protect your space. They are only yield signs and roundabouts, and they are stop signs sometimes too. It depends on the area. They do traffic studies. The UK test is very expensive, and I think it's harder than the American test. I want to do some research on this. If this brought you value, subscribe to the channel. Look at my videos. All right. I thought it was